The Death, Dad and Son is a short film from 2017, directed by Vincent Paronnaud and Denis Walgenwitz, and I apologise if I've mispronounced either of those names. And this is a gorgeously gruesome animation. I love the animation style. I absolutely adored it. However, there is one thing about this that I didn't particularly like, but it is a spoiler, so I will leave that discussion for the end. But for the most part, this is exactly what I love. It focuses on the character of Death. I love the style of the character and his young son. And we see Death going about taking people's souls at their time of dying. And then we see his son watching a cartoon where people are in pretty horrific situations. And he's getting really upset at this. And then he sees a guardian angel saving the characters in the cartoon. And Death's son decides that he wants to be a guardian angel instead. And Death's son sees all of these horrific incidences, and I will give some examples with a spoiler warning in a moment, and he wants to try and save people. And I'll say no more than that for now. But I loved the concept, generally loved the execution, but for me, the animation is what made this gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It's graphic, it's disgusting in all of the most amazing ways. I love the design of Death and I love the design of his son. I think they look fantastic. The music in this is really great as well. I thought that worked very well. The atmosphere is brilliant and visually it's one of the best things I've ever seen. With my personal tastes, I love dark, creepy animation, and this kind of thing really thoroughly appealed to me. So before I go in with any spoiler detail, I will just say, if this even remotely sounds like something you would be interested in, please go and check it out. Because I personally thought it was delicious. I loved almost every second of it, and I cannot recommend it enough. I will now go in with some spoilers. I will mention some personal highlights, and some things that maybe I don't think were as good as they could have been. So big spoilers from now. I think the two bits that stood out to me the most as being the most fascinating would be the cow in the factory. I'm not vegetarian, but it had the potential to turn me because it was quite dark and beautifully animated. And then we have the car crash, and it was just so vivid. However, I will say it doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense because there's a little boy on the floor. He has like blood on his mouth and things. Clearly he's been involved in the car crash. He is crying. They're clearly his parents. We see the son imagining an orphanage. But it's only a 2-seater car. There was no seat for the little boy. So he couldn't have been in that car. I'm assuming it's just a small oversight, but it annoyed me so much because everything up until that point had been picture perfect. And then that happened and there was no seat for the boy. But what I didn't like was the ending. I thought it was very flat and I didn't enjoy it. The last kind of 2 minutes, basically from the point when Death picked up the little boy, and the little boy's dressed as an angel at this point, and then he goes to this fantasy land, this fun fair, and there's a roller coaster crash, and obviously lots of people die, and the son is checking them off on this checklist, and I didn't care for it. I just felt it was really flat. It wasn't gory. Visually, it wasn't entertaining at all, and I just didn't care for the direction it took. So the last kind of minute or so was a bit of a letdown. But honestly, everything leading up to that was pretty fantastic. And as I said, one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen. I could watch a feature length of this animation. I would love that. I love that they don't care about being gory and graphic. It's gorgeous. Visually stunning. The narrative, for the most part, is good. But as I've pointed out, there are a few things here and there that were maybe not what I would have hoped for. But that aside, I still thoroughly recommend it. The Death, Dad and Son is definitely worth watching.